Hi all. You can see here that I'm driving a train into Stepford Airport in the current version of the game. Looks very familiar, doesn't it? Now, forget that for a moment and cast your minds back to the airport update. Yes, the airport update, the most recent major update to SCR. You know, where I made that big review video with the cool montage and everything. I uploaded that video over a year ago now, and yes, the airport update was indeed a total of a year and 4 months ago, which means we haven't had a major update to the game for nearly a year and a half. So, what happened? The reason I showed you that clip of me driving into the airport at the start of the video was to highlight just how familiar we are with the airport nowadays. It was the most recent major update, and yet it was so long ago that most of us are used to seeing all the new features of the airport today, even when it's technically the newest major part of the game. I decided to make this video because I've seen a lot of people around the community saying that SCR is dying, has no hope, or is over. But that's just not true. There's still some hope. Now, it would be oblivious of me to ignore all the unfinished projects in SCR, which don't seem to have been attended to despite their years of development. To my knowledge, there are 6 main things that have been left to the side. Signaler Training 2.0, the new GUI and movement systems, the new track models, the pantograph system, and yes, that button has been there to taunt us for a very long time, the new guard panel system, and the SCR suggestion site. That's quite a lot of stuff left in the back burner, and all of them are things that could be considered game-changing, but just haven't happened. Just to give you an idea of how completely stagnant SCR's development has been lately, let's look at Signaler Training 2.0 as an example. As we can see in Discord's Sneak Peeks channel, the concept was introduced in quite a detailed way, and it was introduced a long time ago in May 2020. For reference, that's over 3.5 years ago. Now, I'm a senior signaler at SCR, which means that I have access to a good chunk of information about how SCR works and a few things that the public doesn't know. However, unfortunately, to the knowledge of the supervisors, Training 2.0 has had very little development in all these years. It does seem silly, and many of us might feel like the game is dying because of things like that, but there is a reason behind it. A possible explanation, and in my view the most relevant, is Bantech. Yes, the guy who pretty much remade SCR from the ground up in 2018 and works in rocket science nowadays. Lots of you were concerned when he resigned a few weeks ago. Did it mark the end of SCR's active development? Would SCR lose its character? Well, as Bantech himself stated, he felt he was the one holding back a lot of projects, so his resignation actually made way for a lot of new things to come to the game, hopefully including the list of features I said earlier. Now Bantech is no longer the ID, we have 2 new developers on the table, Jas and Dimwitted. Both of them came about in the community quite recently, and both of them are actually active. If you look at SCR General's recent message history, you can clearly see that Bantech has much lower community engagement than the new technical lead, which is a good sign, showing that some thought has actually been put into the community, and some thought is probably being put into the game as well, and so development for new features is likely ongoing. The new technical lead's main focus is more on the programming side of the game, which is excellent news. Remember that list of features that are on the back burner? Think about it. Most of them are technical jobs that Bantech couldn't do because he was too busy. That means that the new developers can do them instead of Bantech, and so a massive new window of opportunity for the game to develop has opened. At the moment, SCR's updates have been small, repetitive and finite. All we've really seen in recent months is the occasional new train or mesh train model. Quite recently, likely to keep the community engaged, they've been releasing new trains slowly, week after week. In fact, there are only 3 trains left to be meshed at the time of writing. My point here is that they're going to run out of trains to mesh, and that's not the only thing they can do, and the team likely took that into consideration and hired new developers to work on new things for us. Yes, the updates at the moment are quite basic and non-game changing, but it's something in the meantime. I'm not expecting the biggest changes in the shortest time. You have to remember that the new developers were only hired recently, so we need to give them time to start working on the game, getting feedback from us, and perfecting things to how they want it to be for us. Remember, game development can be challenging, especially with a game as complicated as SCR, and they want to deliver the best experience for us, so inevitably they're going to have to take their time and we're going to have to be patient. So, as a result, I still have a lot of hope for SCR. Now that Banteg is gone, I don't see why the game should be held up any further with progress. We should hopefully start to see that list of backburned things slowly completed, and hopefully some exciting and new things could be added to the game. Perhaps ECS routes, driving back to the depot, better sounds, an actually good looking Berrily station. Ah, what a lovely day. Let's play my favourite game, SCR. Ah, typical fanboys in the chat. I can just avoid them by looking at SV chat. Oh, and look at that. Worldgrain's joined. Worldgrain appears to be mad. Right, I'm going to leave SCR. Yes.
Berrily is pop.
Oh, for God's sake, Berrily doesn't even look that good anymore. Just look at the absolute state of those platforms. Hey guys, welcome back to another Croydon video. Please subscribe to the channel as YouTube has been glitching. As for what new things are actually coming, well, we don't know. I'm a supervisor, meaning I know more than you lot, but even I don't know what's coming to the game. However, the new team plans to reinstate the SCR public roadmap, so we have an idea of what they're working on and when, and so we know when they're being lazy. Hopefully, when that's ready, we'll start to be more excited about SCR updates again, the community hype can be back, and you lot can all make your huge 1.11 speculation videos without making blind guesses. Plus, there's hope for new things even now. We've got the SCR hub site coming up soon too. It's full of loads of interesting and detailed real-time statistics about the game. The quality of the site is proof that the development team we have is absolutely confident and fully capable of achieving a lot of things, which just gives an even more positive outlook on how the game could become someday. I'm not going to be like those other videos about the future of SCR and give you predictions about 1.11 and all that. I just want to say that the game isn't dead and never was. That's the point of this video. It's just a bit stale at the moment, and the game still has a lot of potential, so let's hope it fulfills that potential in the near future. By the way, I'd like to take a moment to apologise for the lack of videos. I explained it all in my last video, but rest assured I still stream SCR every Friday evening if you ever want to catch those. And no, I didn't die either. Either way, thank you very much for watching. My name is Dweller. If you enjoyed the video, then I'd appreciate it if you could hit the like button, and if you feel like it, you could subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you next time, goodbye.